Hello, welcome to Get Your Mind On. I'm Lori Stohs. So last week I was in one of the companies that I consult with, and I was standing in the hall talking to a number of employees, and all of a sudden here comes Mike. And I run into Mike quite often because Mike is always there. He's there early in the morning till late at night. And so depending on what time I'm there, I just happen to always see him sitting in his desk or running throughout the halls. And so we were finishing our other conversation. So Mike said hi, and we stood and had a conversation for a bit. And I said, "How are you?" He said, "I'm busy. I'm really busy. I've been here like 12 hours a day every day, and it's just been really, really busy." I said, "Great. So what have you been up to?" "Oh, just lots of stuff." Okay, great. So the time went on, and go have a good day, Mike. Gosh, busy, busy, busy. That is our world today. As we think about more and more of our jobs being combined, or maybe cuts being made, and roles being combined, and vacation time as it hits the end of the year, and all of these things that need to be done, our worlds become busy. But when we think about it, how busy are we, or are we focusing on business? So I want us to think about busyness versus business itself. And funny, as I did some research on that word, busyness, years ago, that word was business. It was synonymous for the same word, where today that word has changed. Busyness is all about that activity and the art of being busy, where business is more commercial product. So let's think about the two together. And let's think about our workplaces, and let's think about the busyness that goes on there, and really think about how much busyness is really linking to the bottom line of our business. When we're thinking about all the things that we need to do every day, are we really stepping back and saying, what's necessary? How productive am I? And we get caught up in this spiraling of I'm busy, I'm busy, I'm busy. It's like we get a badge of honor if we say we're busy. But gosh, wouldn't it be great to know that you were in a role where you could be very productive and get a lot of work done? You know, most of the work that I do with companies is about productivity, and it's about loving what you do and putting people in the right jobs, in the right role, and engaging. And sometimes we ourselves as individuals aren't doing that. We find ourselves getting caught up in things. We get ourselves getting caught up in drama, or getting caught up into something that we should be doing and we don't love it. So guess what? We create busy work. We shuffle the papers. We create conversation about it, and it's not necessary. So we really have to think about what is true value work. What is the work in our workplaces and in our environments that adds value to the bottom line of business? And I want you to think about adding value. We all want to add value. But when we look at our days and look where we're spending our time, I really want you to step back and think about what work are you doing that's necessary. It's not about your hours you put in and making sure you're putting in 50, 60, 70 hours. Sometimes it is. And so that's something we do have to look at. I always say if somebody's working those hours of 7 a.m. or 6 a.m. to 10 p.m. every night or consistently, you have to do three things either from an employee perspective or an employer perspective. Is first, look at the role. Sometimes the role's too big. It is too much for one person, as we've been combining, and sometimes the job is just too big. Two is sometimes we don't have the right talent to do the job. Maybe we don't have the right talent, the right skills or experience, so it's taking us a lot longer than it should. And third is you need a distraction. You don't want to go home, or you don't want to go do something else because you're covering something, you're hiding your pain. Maybe there's problems at home or with your family or whatever it might be. And so you just don't want to go home. So those three things are the three key areas to look at if you're ending up working that many hours. Another area is you can't delegate. You may not have anybody to delegate to, but you really need to step back and evaluate, is the work that I'm doing adding value to the bottom line of the business? And is it work that I love to do? And are there things that I am avoiding? I think we all need to step back and be aware of that. Now, if you're on the employer side or the manager side, we really have to step back and say, are we asking our employees to do things that are not necessary? Are they doing things that don't add value? Are we running reports just for the sake of reports because we've, quote, always done it and nobody's even looking at the reports? I have that numerous times in companies where it's like, oh, why are you running these reports? I don't know. I was just on the report list and we've always done it. But nobody's looking at the reports. So as an employer or a manager, really stop and look at the work that you're having your employees do and say, is it really necessary? Are we using that to affect the bottom line? I think sometimes we get into the motion of doing things because we always have and we haven't evaluated it. Second thing as a manager is think about, do we have the right people doing the work? As we combine roles, I think we spend a lot of time really thinking about, oh, that person can just do it or that person can just do it. And that's really not always the right way because the work might not align to the talents of the individuals. For positive charge this week, first I want you to look at yourself and say, are you focused on the busyness of it all? 2, or are you focused on the business? Well, and number 3, think about yourself and look at your role and say, what am I doing that's causing busyness? Is there anything that I can eliminate? When we think about our days, they are full. We have lots going on, and we get focused on the kind of butt-in-seat mentality, showing that we're busy and we're doing all these things and we gain this badge of honor. Wouldn't it be great to just know that you could have flow in your work and know that the things that you're doing have a purpose and can make an impact to the bottom line? Thanks for joining us today, and remember to get your mind on.